Welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. Today I'm going to show you how to create melodies from scratch and create a unique sound. Let's use my plugin here at BusyWorksBeats.com/Hercules. Let's go to the start because here you can save your favorite patches. It has over 340 sounds, so you can save your favorites. It's a VST plugin, so it loads for both PC and Mac. Okay, we haven't tested Logic Pro just yet. So here we're going to start with a bell of some sort. Okay, and then let's go to the piano roll. Right click, let's go to the piano roll, and now let's start adding some notes. We're going to be really simple here and just do E. Let's do a higher octave though. And then let's do A. Okay, so really simple notes. We're not trying to get too complicated. In fact, let's actually make this less complicated. Let's do E to A. And now what we're going to do is just add a top line melody. So what we're going to create right now is the background ambience for the rest of our melody here. So what we're going to do is just skip the equal amount of notes. So for example, if I start here and I skip 2 notes, let's go to pattern mode. We're going to keep skipping 2 notes and adding this note in. Okay, so it does not matter the technical music theory behind this. We're just trying to create a simple melody with the gaps in it. Okay, so really simple melody. Let's drag this into the playlist. We're going to convert this to audio because we could do some cool stuff with it. Let's right click, consolidate from track start. And we want 512 point sync under the resample mode, high quality, wave, cut remainder, trim PDC, and then enable insert effects. We don't want master effects on. Hit start. Now we have it as audio. We could double click on the sample here. We can right click, open in Fruity Granulizer. So in Fruity Granulizer, we could do some really cool, unique stuff. We could turn the randomizer on. Basically what granulizers do is they chop up the audio into really small pieces, and then it picks from different pieces in the audio. So we're telling it to pick from random parts of the chops. So it's going to chop it up into like 100 chops, and then it's going to pick random parts and combine it back together. And we could turn the whole parameter up, the loop function here. And then we can mess with the grain spacing to create different chop sizes. So it could chop it this big or it could chop it this big. And so let's hear what this sounds like. I recommend starting with higher notes. So you can see if you don't turn hold on, it kind of creates a granular sound. Very choppy. Okay, so we're just sustaining those notes. Now that we have that, let's go to our mixer. Let's hit Control L. In this case, I already have it routed. Let's route it to channel 2. And let's open up the Luxverb plugin. Basically, we're going to turn on the feedback section here, and then we're going to turn the gain up. And I like to pitch shift downwards to create a haunted sound, but you guys can pitch it up as well. So let's pull the dry level down. I like it just kind of a smear of a sound. And the decay time, we want to have somewhere around 5 seconds or so. So all we have to do now to trigger that is record this. Okay, so now we get like a Metro Boomin type vibe. Let's hit Control L. Let's turn this down so it's not as loud. And now we can build over top of this as if it's a canvas, a musical canvas. Let's go back to our sound. And as long as we stay in that same scale, which we use, let me figure out which notes we use. We use E, A. Basically, we're in the A natural minor scale for now, but we're starting at E, so it's the Phrygian mode. So if we wanted to freestyle, we would right click this typing keyboard, right click where it says E, and right click where it says Phrygian, and then we're at C4, or excuse me, we're at the octave 4. And now we can use our typing keyboard to freestyle over top of this track. Let me turn my mic off. Let's also try a different BPM. All right, so the scale even though we're using the right notes, which is E Phrygian, it sounds weird to me. So let's just do A natural minor. Sounds like it pitched it down or something. So it's like a half step down. So I don't know what happened in the actual file processing, but for whatever reason, it pitched it down. So let's go here. We're going to right click. So G sharp is below A. So let's fix this audio. Let me just do the chromatic because this is acting weird on here. Okay, so now we have control. Let's record this. Let's go up 1 octave though. It's a little dark. So again, I'm recording with my actual typing keyboard. Okay, so now we can add our favorite plugins here. We could use Fruity Convolver. We could do a bunch of stuff. Let's add the Fruity Convolver. And if you guys don't understand what impulse responses are, go look some of these up. I'm about to put you guys on game here. So firstly, there's a company called Liquid Sonics. Okay, they have Bricasti M7, which is a super rare reverb unit that everybody loved. And the Simplicity also has some Bricasti samples. In short, we're going to go to the Hall Verb, grab the tail, just drag it into the Fruity Convolver. These are basically noise samples of different spaces, okay? And so we're going to run our sound through that space. So let's turn down the dry level. And now all we're going to hear is our melody going through that space. Okay, so now we can do cool stuff like print this to audio. Now we have it as audio. We could do cool stuff. Let's double click. Let's reverse. Let's try reversing. Now, reverse usually only works when you have a defined long note structure. Let's try it in reverse. This actually sounds really good in reverse. Let's combine reverse with forward. Now to musically make this make sense, I'm going to flip flop the reverse. So now we're doubly layering the sound. Let's take out the ambient sound. And now let's go back to our original sound. Now that we have it printed, we can do cool stuff so we don't have to keep using all these reverbs. Now let's add some very simple plugins that most people overlook. Let's hit Alt Q. Let's add our delay. Now again, people skip over these because they think they're basic. Let's add the Fruity Delay 3. We're going to use this in a different way. Let's go to Ping Pong, pan this out. Add time modulation, which is a pitch wobble. Let's up the feedback and let's add a low pass. Let's see what this sounds like with the convolver. So I'm just trying to find that sweet spot where it's not too aggressive, but it's also not too reverby. So I think that's the perfect spot for it. Let's print this to audio, and then I'll show you guys one last technique. All right, so now we have everything as audio. We're going to double click on this first sample, go to mode, stretch mode, and then flip it back to resample. Do the same exact thing here, mode, stretch mode, flip it back to resample. So now I can slow down the BPM and create different tones. So here's what it will change key though. All right, so let's speed up the tempo. I like it somewhere around like 130. Now let's get really esoteric. I'm taking you guys to a different planet when it comes to this stuff. So let's go to Serum Effects. Most people don't know Serum can be used as an effects plugin. And our final touch is we're going to run this as a noise input. Okay, then we're going to turn this button on. Let's add a low pass filter here. And we're going to give this low pass modulation an LFO. So we could try out different sounds. I'm going to try out a distorted comb filter here. So now it's like a whole different sound. Okay, so we can automate that. So let's kind of bring that in over time. Let's create an automation clip. Let's duplicate this. And let's bring that effect in over time. So it's not just on the entire time. So just drag this out. Now I'm also going to do my custom technique, which is to send a duplicate of the sound over here. So again, if you see people doing this, they got it from me. Okay, we're going to run this through another reverb. I'm going to use... it doesn't really matter the reverb here, but let's use some Slate Digital stuff. Where's L? Lush. It's called like lustrous plates. Okay, so we're gonna run it through a different reverb style. In this case, a plate reverb, and then we're gonna run it through gross beat at halftime. So we're gonna go to preset, momentary, half speed, and then you could either blend this in or leave it at entirely half speed. We're gonna blend it in. So now we can go back and add in notes. Let's try a higher octave. So you can even record this as a second part to the melody. Hear me adding those notes. So now we created a whole different genre. All right, just wanted to put you guys on. Okay, so I think we went down the rabbit hole on this one. I won't blow your brain up anymore. If you're new here, subscribe if you're new. If you want to check out Hercules, go to busyworksbeats.com/Hercules. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.